Hi guys, coming at you here today with a 9.1 tank tier list for the raid specifically. I'm just gonna hop on in with what I think number one is. Actually, you know what? Let's do this in reverse order. I'm gonna start with what I think is the worst last. So, I'm about to make some people mad. Protection Warrior. I am so sorry, but this class does not live ever. Like I raid frequently at the highest tier. I push mythic progression, and I can only tell you that this class dies so often that it feels like everything has to go into keeping one of these alive. And it's just it has plenty of options, but like once you're out, you're basically a melee DPS with plate gear. It feels so terrible once you're out of defensives. So good ones, good prot warriors, they'll find a way, right? They'll kite, they'll find a way to live. But the average one dies almost constantly. And for that reason, I think it's by far the worst tank. Yes, you offer a raid buff and battle shout. Yes, you have rallying cry, which are both fantastic cooldowns. But it's just not good enough in my eyes to be ranked higher than the C tier. But let's move on to something I think is a little bit better. Actually, quite a lot bit better. Vengeance Demon Hunter. So, Vengeance Demon Hunter has this thing where they tend to be very mobile, which helps them live a lot longer than they otherwise would. They can avoid hits where other tanks can't. They can avoid mechanics sometimes, and because of all of that, it makes them a really, really strong tank class for the raid. They offer a raid buff, which is very good. So does Prot Warrior. But they just offer so much more. Their cooldowns are fantastic, and they have ways to avoid just taking needless damage with their mobility. And for that reason, this is an S tier class in my mind. But I don't think it's the best tank, and we'll get to that reason why after we go through Brewmaster Monk. Brewmaster Monk is pretty bad, but it offers a raid buff. But it's just it's not in a good spot right now. It's not gonna die. Like it's not as bad as Prot Warrior in my mind, but it's also not great. You tend to have a lot of awkward moments when you're playing this class where you don't have cooldowns and you're trying to regain health, or you just get one shot too fast to regain health. It just doesn't feel good to play right now in my mind. I think if I was a monk, I'd want to play Windwalker or Mistweaver because both those classes are popping off right now. But tank-wise, I don't think it's it. So for that reason, B tier at max. But let's move on to the class. Actually, I'm going to save the best for last. Blood DK, I think is great. I think it's wonderful. AMZ is so good on a Blood DK, just the way they changed it. It mitigates so much damage for the raid. You have Grippy Hands, which brings all the ads in. Especially good, almost necessary for Soul Render Dormazane. And for that reason, this is an S tier class. Nah, actually, you know what? No. I'm going to change this. I'm going to put both these A tier. I think these are the second best classes you can get. And I think they're pretty interchangeable. They do different things, but both of them are extremely, extremely good right now. I would pick one of these up in a heartbeat if you want to play tanks. Even if you don't, it's not the S tier in my mind. I think they're both very fun to play, both very good classes. So interchangeable in my mind, very good, do different things. But let's move on to Ret Pally. I'm sorry, Prot Pally, not Red Pally. My mind went blank there. Prot Pally's okay. It's a wheelchair class, and there's a lot of movement required in these fights. For that reason, I would say B tier. It's just there are better tanks out there. It moves too slow to get through some of the mechanics. You really, really need a little bit more out of movement in this raid tier. And for that reason, we're going to put it in B tier and leave it at that. But our final ranking. Guardian Druid. It's so good. It never dies. I don't know what is with this class, but you can't kill it. It's unkillable. It literally is unkillable every time. just so many cooldowns, so much healing, great conduits, great. They keep it alive even longer. Like, this is the class you want to play if you never want to die. You will be the last person alive every single time, I promise you. It's so good. But for that reason, this is my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, let me know. If you agree with it, let me know. If you completely think it's awful and disagree with it, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. As always, please give me a like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.